You note that there's not just two of them, there's a bunch of them all down this hallway.
Cool.
I thought you were about to say they're just men in sheets just going, ooh.
Oh yeah. No, they're just being like, woo, I'm spooky. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Electric Dice Podcast presents Tales from the Yawning Portal, is played by our wonderful people here.
I'm Seth, and I'm playing Doc, the barbarian.
If you hear meowing in the background, that's Dennis yelling at me because he's hungry.
Hi, Dennis.
Oh.
I am Amanda. I am playing Babel, who is she's a gnome. She's not a halfling. I'm gonna get that right this time. But she doesn't speak gnomish at all. She was raised by lovely fae folk, and she's a little mage. She throws magic missiles at things
Gotta love the Fae folk.
and steals.
So much stealing.
You gotta love it.
Hi, I'm Colin. I'm playing Putter, Dragon Portal Artificer, who got knocked out last time.
It happens.
I'm Dan. I am playing Brawl, Putter's brother, who saved Putter along with the rest of the party from being knocked out last time.
I'll be right
Nice.
back.
Wonderful. Last time, you journeyed around. You fought a big slug creature that claimed to be a snail. You went into a beautiful room with like a stunning pool of water, to which Babel did a glorious painting of and threw some coin in the water to kind of repay it for being so naturally beautiful. You went into this lovely long room with murals painted all over it. Two of you got stuck in jail. That happens. But thankfully, a couple of the other party members were futzing around with a big mural with a insignia of a sun on it, and realized they could push it in, and it led to a secret door. Opening that secret door, then also unlocked the cell that you guys were trapped in. So
that was all me and Butter.
you and Butter. So I believe we ended with you guys climbing into the secret passage, which I'd say is a secret passage, but it's more just like a full honkin' corridor. So as you all kind of enter there, you realize a couple of things. The corridor is high ceilinged and decorated with sculptures mounted on the walls. Two corridors branch off from the main hall, a narrow one to the east and another to the west. The statuary that adorns the walls consists of 4 sculpted heads of animals. Each one is 6 feet above the floor and 3 feet in diameter. Opposite the passage that leads east is the stylized head of a coyote. That would be this bad boy. Opposite the and across from the hallway that's going west is the head of a grinning bear. That would be this one.
Is the coyote doing anything like the bear's grinning?
It's just animal heads. At near the south end of the corridor, the one closest to you, the head of a stone bison is on the wall, and at the north end of the area, on the west wall, is what appears to be the head of an eagle with its beak open. Something shines within the eagle's mouth.
That catches my eye.
So you said eagle is at the end, bear is third, coyote is second. What was the first one?
There is bison,
here.
coyote, bear, eagle, going closest to you from farthest to you.
Okay.
So yeah, and they're just statues. It's not like actual taxidermized heads or anything. And
I'm gonna go up and go ahead. Sorry.
And at this point, all of you are in the corridor with Butter hanging back for no apparent reason. Don't worry about it. But they are in the corridor for anything that may affect.
Butter's just feeling a little woozy after that last poison hit.
Yeah. You know, it's the poison's starting to get to you.
What poison, Amanda? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no poison in this game. That's fake news.
No, there's definitely poison. I can promise you that. You have all taken damage from the poison.
Listen, I've had a lot of DM bluffs this game so far.
I mean, you're not wrong. This is not one of them.
I am interested in the sparkly thing.
So, is anyone else interested in that the eagle head with the sparkly?
Well,
obviously, but she's gonna get there first.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I'm just kind of like I nudge Butter, but Butter's like he's just going a little ahead of me, and I'm gonna scurry over in that direction and probably look up. I have a feeling I can't really reach this.
Yeah, it's they're not super far. They would probably be about like torso level to an average height humanoid. Like you could reach it, though you would be a little on like your tiptoes. So you go up to it, and there is what looks to be a very fancy golden bracelet. It's kind of like holding it in its beak.
Does it look attached, or does it look like it's laying there?
It looks like it's kind of like jammed in there. Like it doesn't look connected to it, but it's wedged in there, it seems.
Can I smash it?
No,
the eagle
you're gonna
head?
break it.
The eagle?
The eagle? I mean,
I kind of want to smash it, but I don't think I should.
Don't smash it.
I don't want to stop people from smashing if they want to have a good time, but
Can I detect magic?
that would take 10 minutes.
I'll stand here for 10 minutes staring at the bracelet.
All right. So in that 10 minutes, does anyone else want to futz with anything?
I'm gonna go through and just start, like slamming, not like smashing, but just touching my hand on top of everything.
Yeah.
On top of all of
that. Does that include the eagle?
Would that disrupt her doing? I don't like that question.
So,
yes,
okay.
it would. It would.
It would. All right. Because detect magic is something centered on Babel. It's not like she's specifically detecting the magic of an item. It's she's doing it. Anything magical will start glowing for her.
Okay.
And are you just like putting your hand on them? Are you hitting them with your weapon? Like, describe.
Well, you know how like when you're in a library and you're going around to books trying to pull on them to try to, and like the candelabras and switches and stuff, try to see if you could do that whole thing.
Gotcha. They all feel real sturdy. Like they seem to be pretty much solid stone. With the eagle, you're just papping the top of it, because that I'll note that is the most unique of all of them. It is the only one with its mouth open, and the only one that seems to have some kind of treasure.
But it doesn't. But it's still sturdy. It doesn't move or anything.
Yeah, no, like these are all firmly made statues. It seems.
Okay, that's all that I'm gonna do.
If there's only one that has its mouth open with this shiny thing in there, I'm curious if the other ones have mouths that can be opened and if this thing moves between them.
Okay, so that seems basic enough that, like, I could see, like, do the other mouths open doesn't feel like a rocket science question.
Yeah, I just don't know if my character would have thought of that, because he has no wisdom, for one, and, minimal to moderate intelligence.
I'd say that's reasonable enough. Probably going to be, I could see either perception or investigation being plausible.
I'll do investigation.
Yeah. So
Nope.
with a 12, that's still good enough. You don't see any like seams or anything. It seems to be solid stone on all the rest of them. The mouths do not seem to open, at least from what you can tell.
Okay.
So Doc went over and patted all the statues on the head. I want to see if I can tip. I just want to move them, see if I can move them at all. So
make an athletics check, I suppose. Like you're trying to move a big heavy thing. 16 is still, that's reasonable. You really is there a specific one you go at first to try and mess with?
Is the first one the bison, right?
Yes.
That one.
All right. So you feel like you're getting a lot of leverage. You're really exerting your force well. It's a giant stone that's attached to the wall. This thing does not budge.
Okay.
All right. With this, you've all kind of done some stuff. Babble's detect magic pings. You're detecting magic, specifically the ring, or the golden kind of ring of metal, the bracelet, or whatever you would want to call it, is glowing. I'm pretty sure it would ping as transmutation. Let
Oh,
me. Yes, it would definitely ping as transmutation magic.
would I be able to tell if it was originally organic?
You
Like, because it says object or creature, and like if I can detect something's magical, I imagine everything's gonna have a slightly different aura to it, right?
I mean, you.
Like,
It
what color
doesn't
is its
seem.
aura?
It would be standard as any other. That's a weird question. Um, Standard transmutation magic aura. It looks similar to, I imagine, if you had detect magic on and someone cast a spell, you might see a burst of some color. It's just kind of that you can't quite make it out. Looking at it from just examining it, seems to be just like a really beautifully crafted golden bracelet. It's very intricately carved, not carved, or has detailing. It seems to just be jewelry. None of the patterns or anything on it look organic to you. But it does seem more like it definitely resonates of something, an item that is magical, not just something that's been affected by transmutation magic.
Hmm.
Like it wouldn't ping
Okay.
the same way, like if someone had been petrified, I imagine it would look a little different than something that just can cast a transmutation spell or something along those lines. But yeah, other than that, you're not 100% sure. It's very nice, shiny. It's probably valuable.
Yeah.
So, what you doing? Or what is anyone else doing with this information?
Well, I didn't tell anybody else. Am I the
Oh,
only one that can see it?
yes. For detect magic is you see the aura.
I'm gonna kind of yell down the hall and say, like, "Hey, I kind of hurt my back. Can someone reach this for me?"
Doc's gonna go up and grab it.
Yeah, you got it.
It's on the end, right?
Yeah, it's this one here on the end. These little kind of weird divvy things are the carvings. I don't know
Okay.
why they're so funky looking. Yeah, so you reach and snag the bracelet.
Yeah, and then I go to throw it back to Amanda.
Yeah. So the only problem is the so you reach in, you grab the bracelet, and the beak snaps shut on your hand. The bottom
Uh-huh.
jaw snaps up, and you feel okay, but your hand is very much stuck.
Okay.
Oh man, that's
No touching.
oh shoot.
Can I swing my great axe and hit the beak?
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
reiterate, your hand is
Uh-huh.
in the beak.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to
If you
do
want
that.
to, is a great axe a versatile weapon, or is it
I was trying
just
to crack the concrete.
all right? So if anyone wants to,
Yeah, I'm there. Can I stop him?
yeah, definitely.
I got a crowbar, I got a hammer, like I think we can do this a little less unusable hand like.
It is not. It is a heavy two-handed weapon.
Yes, all right. So no one-handing it.
Fair.
All right. So, pardon me. His hand is very much stuck in this. What are you guys doing about this?
You said Babel has a crowbar? I don't know if I have a crowbar.
Anyone who
I have
has,
a
I want to say
crowbar
it's
and I have a hammer.
I will attempt to pry this beak open with a crowbar.
alrighty. So make a strength check with advantage because you are using the crowbar's leverage. Crowbars are
Using the
great.
crowbar as a crowbar.
Yes. Yeah, with a 17, it's not easy, but you are able to get it open just wide enough that the hand, including and holding the bracelet, still can be tugged out from there.
Cool. I will pull my hand out then.
Good. I'm
Alright.
glad you're not going to leave it there.
Yeah. So
I'm
you
just like, oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry you hurt yourself, and I'm holding my hand out expectantly.
Mhm. If anyone, now that you have it out of this, if anyone else wanted to check out this bracelet, just if anyone wants to check it out, just let me know and say what skill you would want to be specifically trying to investigate or check it out with.
Can I do just a general perception roll on it?
Yeah, of course. It's real not this thing is very intricately made. I think with a 17, you note that the exterior is just like these beautiful, I'd say carvings, but it's uh, just I guess inlay. It's jewelry. You note the inside of it is also just very very smooth. One thing that does kind of stick out a little bit is it. Like as you're kind of looking it over, and I don't suppose anyone has proficiency in jeweler's tools, right?
Putter, maybe?
No.
I have painter's tools. That's
That's
close, right?
sadly no.
I don't think I have proficiency in any tools.
Uh, it just one thing you can't quite place it. It does seem a little funky as far as bracelets go. Like you don't see a ton of just like single solid thing because at this point it's gonna like you can get it onto your wrist, but it is gonna be a little loose and a little jangly, and it's kind of heavy because it seems to be gold. Um, something strikes you a little odd about the construction, though. You can't quite place it.
Has Bro given this to me yet? My hand is
Yes.
still.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wonderful. So
Thank
you now
you
have this
so much.
magical bracelet. For those of you who are over in this corner, I imagine as you kind of walked over here, you would notice that here, kind of along this wall, there's shadowy humanoid figures just kind of floating there.
Oh, they're floating?
They at first glance they seem like they're floating. They're definitely like like 2 feet above the ground. So anyone who like gets closer to them, like within like just in front of them, notices a few things. One, they're not actually floating. There's just a little ledge pressed up against the wall that they are standing on. Um, More noticeably, though, you note that there's not just two of them. There's a bunch of them all down this hallway.
Cool.
I thought
cool,
you were
cool.
about to say they're just men in sheets just going, ooh.
Oh yeah, no, they're just being like, "Woo, I'm spooky." Yes,
Dang.
it's a little unnerving. There's quite a few of them.
Do they all look different from one another? Or are they all
They
identical?
I imagine would be they're not identical, but it's not like they're all wildly different. It's like if you like carefully study them, you're like, oh well, this one's like an inch shorter than that one, and they're like it's also it is hard to see. Even with dark vision, they're very kind of shadowy and funky looking. Um, But yeah, but they are definitely unique people. They seem to all be like roughly the same race, close in age maybe. You think they're probably dead given the not moving, um not responding and just kind of being in this ancient ruin.
Oh, they look like real bodies. They're not like sculptures.
They do seem to be real bodies.
Yeah, I thought they were
They
sculptures
got
too.
pockets.
Oh,
Oh.
they do not have pockets.
They got. Yeah. I'm gonna.
Steal
I'm
one?
gonna. Yeah, steal one body, please.
I mean, you can try and like climb up on ledge and knock one down if you really want.
No, if they're there, they have a purpose, and I don't want to disturb their work.
Okay. So, you feel you've gotten a pretty thorough look around at this hallway. You do
Whoops.
note there are three kind of different ways you could go. There is this first more narrow passage that was opposite of the coyote. There was this a little bit wider opposite the bear, and then this route does seem to continue past these bodies.
With us being next to the eagle, right next to that passage, and having walked past the other one, could we see anything in passing?
Yeah. So I imagine, like, assuming you did a quick glance, you would see this
Yes.
one went down a short ways. You saw this one went on and then kind of fell into darkness. So one of them seems to have a turn. One of them seems to go down for some distance.
I'm gonna say that I want to go and check out the first one.
First one, you got it. So that one is a little bit more narrow, so you would have to be walking single file. What is your guys' marching order?
If he's going first, I'll hold up the rear, I guess, so that we have somebody tanky on either side.
All right. So we have Doc, Steel Defender, you, Babble, Brawl. All right, so
Babble Butter Brawl.
Babble, Butter,
Because
Brawl.
Brawl's the end.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot about Butter, who is definitely here. They're just very lost in thought. They're trying to write a hit new song based on what you heard from that other room.
Mm-hmm.
So
Melody's just stuck in her head.
Exactly. So you head down, and it's a short passage, and it does let out into a larger, wider, longer passage. So are you staying single file, or are you doing like a 2x3 grid?
At least standing here, can I see the end of the hallway?
That with the lantern, you should be able to see the end of the hallway. And it does make another turn.
I'm scared of long hallways now.
Right.
It
Are there? Can we do some perception or investigation to see if there's anything weird about this hallway?
Yeah,
wanna
if
go to
anyone
idiot jail
wants
anymore.
to, so if you want one of you to make a perception check, and if someone else wants to feasibly give advantage, by assisting. 21. Yeah, so this is a
Ooh.
very real hallway that's not painted on. You don't notice any
Idiot jails.
traps.
Alright.
This seems like this is a nice hallway. The only downside is this is still just like everywhere else you've seen, filled with that poisonous gas.
I'm gonna run forward like I'm charging through a door right here. Right. Oh, yep. Amanda goes.
I have a question that I forgot to ask.
Yes.
When I cast the magic and you're like only the bracelet lit up, none of the bodies lit up, right? Or at
I
least
don't
none that we
believe
can see?
so. No, yeah, no, the corpses, they seem like corpses. It's almost like
Okay.
if you were to
Well,
stand
they're
up
just
mummies.
decorations.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Spooky ones.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yep. All right. So are you heading down?
Yeah.
All right.
Right, Babel? Right? Yeah.
Since
I'm not
the
running,
lantern
though.
is being held by Brawl, did you want to kind of be side by side with him so you can actually see everything?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine he takes off and then I just start like
Running
running
behind.
after him. I'm
You
worried
got
he's going to run into a wall.
Yeah.
and
So
Putter starts to panic too, seeing two people run. So,
yeah.
so I'll
So,
run behind them. try and
As
keep
you're
up.
all running ahead, do you like run and then like run down the corner and keep booking it, or
I'm slamming into this wall that it's not letting me choose.
the top wall, the east wall?
Yeah.
All right. East is up. There we
That
go.
one.
So you
Mhm.
slam it. All right. So in that case, you turn. Brawl is able to kind of keep pace, and you guys see ahead of you are a couple things. One, there's a pit of some type. You're able to see it pretty well. And there's a big, you assume triangular, whatever, stone block, kind of in the middle of this hallway here.
Does it? Well, I'm not down there. Never mind.
Yeah.
How far across? Well, yeah, probably have to get
The
closer,
pit,
but
I mean, even from here, it's not super wide. It is. Let me see if I can. So you see actually three things. There is first that pit, which I believe is a 10-foot wide pit. So I think these, it's either the map is not to a great scale or is
well,
a little
it does
funky.
look like it's 10 feet wide on the map. Is
Oh.
that meant to be how far across it is?
No, it's very no, it's 10 foot deep. It's only 5 foot across. I'm sorry, I can't read. You see the stone, and you also see for a brief moment a glint of light that seems to fly just past the stone.
Fly past the stone.
Or not fly past the stone, but like scooch around it and is then blocked by it.
Hmm.
I mean, if anyone wants to try and cross the pit, it is definitely feasible.
I imagine we'd be down with them while they're like looking at this hole right now, right? Like
Yeah,
we've caught up to them.
you've had time to just take your time and approach.
Does this stone look like it's blocking like it's floor to ceiling tall, or it's more like it's just kind of like a thing in the way?
It's pretty
Like, could we
large, but it does seem separate. Like I imagine there would be like a couple inches between it and the ceiling.
we
It
couldn't
definitely
climb over around it though,
triagonal.
right?
You
Okay.
don't believe so, but it doesn't seem like it's connected to anything.
Is it just like a plain triangular
Triagonal.
slab of stone, or does it look like are there any markings on it or anything sticking out of it at all?
So you don't see anything sticking out. You aren't 100% sure if there's any markings. You are a noticeable distance away. There is a little bit of space to stand between it and the pit if someone wanted to jump over the pit and check it out.
The size of the pit, is it like a rectangular hole or is it a
Triagonal.
triangular? Like, would the
Triagonal.
triangular rock fit into the? Would it like peg into a hole?
Yeah, looking down into the hole, you see a couple things. One, there's some skeletons down the
Mhm.
pit. It's only 10 feet deep and it doesn't have like a wedge bottom. It just seems to be a pit. The biggest thing is the stone is a lot taller than the pit is wide, so even if you were able to push it, it would just kind of awkwardly fall partially into it.
We could push it. Like, it doesn't look
I
like
mean,
it's
like
something went back
into
there.
into the pit. I mean, we wouldn't be able to push it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm like shining my lantern, I'm trying to like look to see if I can follow where that little glint of light went, trying to peek around like edges of the
Yeah, there
stone.
is a little bit of a gap, but it's no more than a few inches.
Mhm.
But like you do definitely see the stone is like the biggest thing you're kind of able to get is stone is separate from all this. Does seem movable, though you don't know how easy it would be, and something could, if it was real tiny, could scooch through that gap, but it is only a few inches wide.
I have a thought, but I don't know if it's a thought Babel would have.
What's the thought?
Okay, so you see the triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's say we were to push that bit pointing towards us up or down. Would would we be able to
East or west, you mean?
Yeah, like
Mhm.
it. What?
Like, is it a revolving door, basically?
More like if we pushed it so that like the top part or like the here's the angles. If we pushed this up so that was flush with the wall, would there be space to pass it? But like I wouldn't. I'm not seeing this top down. I'm seeing this like I don't even know really what the other side of this looks like.
I mean, you are able to see, like, you're able to see there's a little bit of gaps that you feel like you might be able to push it to some degree, though you're not
I
100% sure
can't,
what is
but
on the other side. I mean, you can't. The party can. Or if there was
um,
any particularly strong member of the party.
I don't know.
I-
That doesn't sound.
if we're concerned about the other side, like obviously we're probably not being quiet about it right now. Can we hear anything from that side?
Yeah, if someone wants to make a perception, and I'll again assume assisted, even though I don't know how you assist someone in hearing things.
I can assist if somebody else wants to.
You assist by telling everybody else to shut up.
There
Put a
we go.
cone around your ear.
I was gonna say I can assist, but I can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, and someone else can assist you.
Yeah, I got 1. I can't roll.
It's
Yeah, I got a -1.
well, you've got a 9. It's you don't think you hear anything. This is like a big old ancient temple. You might at this point you're probably even far enough away. I mean, you might hear minor illusion if Babel does that. You at this point probably can't even hear like if there was any like watery sounds from the previous chambers because that's pretty far back now.
Yeah.
That seems pretty
I think
quiet.
Brawl will just say, "Oh hell, I'll jump it and see if I can move this thing."
So it's only 5 feet wide. Basically, any of you, especially if you have a running jump, you can jump that no problem.
All right.
Yeah, but are you gonna make us roll?
No, I'm saying no roll required. Yeah, so you check it out and you realize this thing pivots real nice. You feel like you could either pivot it to the east or west. Either way, you would open up a gap, maybe go pushing it as far as it can, maybe about 2 feet, which you feel is like just enough to kind of squeeze through for most of you. The most difficult would be for the turtles,
Yeah.
because you have shells.
Yeah, our body's not as squishy as others.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I
I'll do
being
some pivoting here.
the smallest on the team and can easily squeeze through,
hmm
I would not be opposed to peeking around to see if this is a way we even want to go.
Yeah.
And can
So
Doc go too? Can Doc fit?
yeah, the only people you would feel would have any trouble would be the 2 turtles. Even the steel defender, though it's made of steel, I always picture is a little smaller.
Split the party.
So the turtles
Or
you
just
feel like
send
you
the
could
steel defender.
you I mean you do feel though that you could get the turtles through. It might just require I would say it would be an acrobatics or athletics check that feasibly someone
Some
could help with, and a
leverage.
fail would result in possibly getting stuck.
Which means you should go last.
Or not at all.
Yeah. So a couple things, like just from like glancing around it. This goes on for a good. Oh, no, I didn't want to hide areas. I want to reveal areas. It goes on for a good while. You do see off, in the distance. There's a light that the same light as before. So it was somehow able to squeeze past. But then it looks as if it rounds another corner, going off to the left.
So this is like a light is moving is what we're saying.
Yeah, it's almost like if someone was holding like a very, like maybe like a candle or something. You can just see it. It's not really enough to light up the surroundings, but it's enough that that's a light in a dark location.
I think this gets Doc really excited, and he wants to go chase after it.
How are you doing this, basically?
Because it's just me and Babel over here, right?
I mean, anyone else who wants to go through, it's like, would you just run off and chase this thing, or would you wait for the party?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like as we're getting through, the lights walking away.
Yeah, it seems like you see it at the end of this, and I imagine all 3 of you who are on this side presently would be able to see it's kind of there for a moment, and then it turns, and you see it move off to the left and vanish as if it was going around a corner.
I'm gonna make a look to Babel like I really want to go, but I know it's not the responsible decision to make, and stay, but look like really disappointed in the moment. But then like patient.
All right. So are Putter and Brawl trying to squeeze through this gap?
Go ahead, Colin.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna send the steel defender first, and then have his help trying to get me through.
Yeah.
So you have a
So
strong boy on either side.
make a with advantage your choice of acrobatics or athletics check. It's real close. You almost get stuck, you feel like, but you were able to just kind of pop through. I imagine that between the 2 of you, you're probably the smaller one.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you feel like you're able to get through it. Not easy, but kind of just make it. So everyone is through, and we're assuming that Butter is here as well, again hanging
Oh, I
back.
don't think I've gotten through yet.
You have not.
No.
So make and again your choice of acrobatics or athletics check. And again, if someone wants
I'll
to try and help
I'll
pull
say
you
to
through.
Putter too. I'll say like, Listen, brother, it's all in the breathing. You just gotta really soak it in. It's a technique I learned back on the City Watch.
He breathes in, and then like nothing is noticeably.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Okay,
But it
so
works.
you feel like despite really breathing in and really force your way through, it is still very difficult. You make it through. You do not get stuck. But it is the if you look around the walls and the pillar, they are scratched to shit. From I imagine you have like spikes coming off you. It is just
Yep.
wrecked. But it adds character to the ruin,
Yeah, should have seen the other guy.
Exactly. So are you guys heading forward now that you have your party all back together?
Yeah, I think as soon as I see the turtles crew, I'm a sprint ahead
Okay.
to.
So you guys, and what was marching order again?
That's a scary question.
It was Doc, the golem,
No,
Putter,
butter,
me, Butter, and Brawl.
butter and brawl. Okay. So you guys get, and you feel like you're actually pretty close to where, to where that turn was. But sadly, and I'm gonna actually take a little bit of control for a moment because I'm bad like that. Um, and let me just make sure. I think this was roughly what marching order was said to be, because I imagine you're going 2
Mhm.
by 2 here.
Yeah, we wouldn't need to be single
Yeah.
file.
So I'm gonna move all of you for a moment because as you head near about here, you hear a very uncomfortable telltale click as just in front of you and just behind you, two giant wooden slabs that are like braced with copper slam down, trapping you.
Oh, those aren't gonna stand a chance.
My inclination is to just grab my hammer and try to smash one down.
Yeah,
You
same. I'm
got
gonna do the other one.
All right. Are
Yeah,
you
same.
who's going at which ones?
Well, I'll do the one in the back, I guess, since that's where I am.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
And I don't like being trapped from behind either.
That's
Can I
valid.
just fit through the bars?
It's not a bars. This is solid wood.
Oh, slats. Okay.
This is like
You
big
said wood?
Yeah, it is wood.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So if each of you would be able to, first we'll have Brawl because he's separate and attacking a different one. So
What?
make make an attack against it since you're trying to smash.
Oh, an actual attack. Okay.
An actual attack. These things are real solid. Like you get what feels like a real strong grip and smash against it, and these things are just real sturdy. If then anyone who's up front would like to, so I guess feasibly both the steel defender and uh, Doc would be able to make an attack against it. The one up front.
I'm a swing.
All right. These walls are really tough.
Yeah.
As you even like with your axe, I imagine, I don't know, you hit like some of the banding on it. Does the steel defender want to go for a hit and see if it has any luck?
Sure. Is
All
that
right,
it?
that is and that one. So you're with your steel defender's force empowered rend, and I think if you hit the word attack, so 10 damage. So yeah, so as your steel defender runs up and smashes at this thing, the it feels like it's a good hit. As some of the wood and because I believe it is copper that kind of is helping to secure these. Sadly, as this all kind of happens, you hear some weird grinding sounds from above you, and when you look up, notice that some little holes have opened in the ceiling, and a small trickle of sand has started to fall from the ceiling. And now we can do some proper initiative, just to make sure things are done in proper Proper order.
Make sure to click your token
Make
first.
sure to click your token first. If my thing, there we go. And sort by descending. So Doc, and sadly, Butter is just so thoroughly shaken by this. They do not know what to do. But yeah, Doc, there is a big honkin' wall in front of you, and sand starting to pool at your feet from above.
Okay. Can I go into a reckless attack against the door?
Yes,
Okay.
sounds good. All right.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're not really worried about it fighting back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I would just every attack would be with advantage.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be 17, so that'll be 1, and if you want to then throw on your second attack, see how many hits you have. So that will be 2 hits on this giant wooden behemoth of a door. So if you want to roll for your damage for both of those. And I think you can just
Yeah.
click the word Great Axe twice, because in the
Nice.
16 and 9. Ooh, sweet. So yeah, you are just tearing away at this. Now that
Hell yeah.
you're like, all right, this whole situation ain't great, and you feel like you've really you want to get out of here, and boy, are you making this work. Next up, we have Putter. Putter,
I think I'll continue to attack the door as well,
you
helping
got it.
out Doc.
You got it. I also just
So
remember that
I'll
the Steel Defender acts directly after your turn, so doesn't need its own thing. Whoops.
That's right.
no,
All right. So what? How are you attacking it again?
I'm going to hang on. Sorry.
No problem.
Warhammer, I believe.
All right. So the only issue is you are currently kind of sandwiched between the other party members, and you can't easily get to the door. I will kind of devil's bargain. If you want, you could try and kind of like muscle past them, but your attack rolls would have disadvantage, as it's hard to get the right angle on it if you did want to go in for a melee attack.
Could I do light hammer and just
Throwing,
avoid
yes.
hitting them? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, definitely. So with a throwing thing, you are golden, and you
Okay.
have a returning light hammer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to make 2, yeah. So that's a crit 20 on the first attack, and I believe you do have a second attack as a your thing, and a 13. So that 13 will be a miss. But if you want to hit light hammer thrown on either of those, because either one will have a crit that it'll use for its mathing out of the whole thing.
Just hit light hammer again.
Hit
In
on
the
in where it just popped up for the rolls. There's like light hammer thrown, and you can just click on those words like in the text in the chat box.
Okay.
So that will be 9 bludgeoning damage. And I'm assuming you were going on the one that's in front of you, correct?
Yes.
Alrighty. So it's you throw the hammer, it connects, it smashes a little bit more of the wood away. Next up, we have your Steel Defender, who acts immediately after you.
Will he have to? No, he's up front, right? He won't have to push past anyone.
Yeah, he's already right there.
Okay. Then I'll do the forced and empowered render
You got it.
attack. Is that a D8?
That is, so first the D20 to see if it hits. And I think you might be able to click on
Sure.
that in the
Oh.
thing. I just don't have the page open. I have the book out of reach because I didn't. Let me. 18 is
Okay.
going to be enough to hit, and that's a D8 plus 3 damage. Okay, so 5 total damage. So that's it. That much. You guys are definitely chipping away at this, as you will let no wall slow you down. Next up, we have Brawl.
Yeah, so I think he's hearing that there's a lot of damage happening to the door behind him. So he's gonna say, "All right, everybody, duck." He's gonna toss his maul up in the air, and he's gonna catapult it at the door.
All right.
Nice.
You got it.
I am very short, so I cannot accidentally be hit, right?
Since he did warn everyone, and it is pretty tall, I'm going to say that the door fails its saving throw.
Okay.
So
The
if you
door can't jump out of the way.
yeah, the door fails on its dexterity saving throw. So if you just want to roll that 3d8 damage.
Wow, that was
Nice.
not that great.
I mean, it's all right. It's 11 damage. This thing is, well, it's a door, but it's, I'll say, splintered, since it doesn't have blood. But yeah, you feel like you're making great time on this thing. Babble?
Well, I can see the door, and magic missile is pretty accurate.
Are you magically missiling the door?
Yeah, I'm a magic. So, like, I thought about firebolt, but that can light anything on fire that's flammable, and that gets kind of dangerous.
I mean, I'm not gonna say if you do firebolt, you're not gonna be at risk of hitting your friends. This is a giant door. We can say you
And
aim
it
for
does
the
say
top.
one target, so
Yeah.
And it's not fireball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
okay. Yeah, I'm just doing firebolt then.
All right.
Hurl a bolt of fire at a creature or an object in range. Next to it.
All right. Sorry.
My gone.
Having to make a check though, you actually have to make a spell attack.
All right.
Is it?
Yeah, since it's making ranged spell attack, not just it making a save.
How do I do that?
Roll a d20 and add your spellcasting ability modifier +3. I don't know what your
You
spellcasting.
should be able to click on it, and it'll ask you what level you want to cast it at. I thought.
Or with cantrips, it should just do it.
Oh, what level do I want to cast it at?
It's a cantrip.
So I can just do it.
Yeah. I don't know why it's not. Do you want to just roll a d20? I don't know why it isn't doing a roll for it. I think it's
Silly
queued.
roll.
Oh yeah, so that'll be yeah. So roll
It
me
also lights anything like if it's flammable, it's lit on fire.
big strong. Sorry, I just saw that in the chat. I'm so bad. Okay, so Amanda, roll 2 more d10s for 12 more.
22 damage.
Nice. So this thing is looking pretty not great. Amanda, I do need you to pick high or low for me though.
High good things.
High good things. So because of the poisonous gas and the fact that fires are unreliable, it does not ignite the door. It does some hefty damage to it. And with this, so it would go around, but first a friend is going to visit you guys. Because that mote of light that you saw from before is going to boop through this wall, and it's going to kind of look at the party and look who's easily mess withable. And it's going to see that someone used reckless attack and is off balance, and this will-o'-the-wisp that just flew in is going to make it's going to attempt to shock Doc. Does a non-natural 20 hit, Doc?
How do I tell?
What is your armor class?
17.
17. So a 20 does hit as this thing shocks you for and I'm just gonna 2d8. as it deals 9 lightning damage to you, an average roll,
Ooh.
as it
Hey, buddy.
as it is very shocking. Haha.
Ah!
And it's just kind of floating like just above you, very very content in its ability to mess with you. Back around to Doc. There's a door, but there's also a glowing orb that just shocked you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack the door.
Are you doing reckless attacks again, or are you just doing normal?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so you still get your 2 attacks. They're just not going to be with advantage. So an 18 and a 17 are still both hits.
Okay.
So if you want to roll the damage for those 2, 9 and 6. Close. This thing is on its... This door is on its last legs, if it even had any. I imagine there's actually sections that there are like holes throughout it. But it's just not enough. It's like just holding in there. On to Putter. Putter, what you doing?
So it's a glowing orb that
Ye-
just attacked Doc.
It is a glowing orb that you would now recognize this as it is closer. This is a will-o'-the-wisp, which is a wonderful. It's a malevolent, wispy ball of light that lures people to their doom.
As it did.
Mhm.
What I guess my first instinct is to attack it with dragon breath. Would that do anything though?
It would do a couple of things. One, it would make a saving throw. 2, both of the other 2 people in front of you would make a saving throw. As exhaling a giant thing of painful steam, it's hard to have it not hit the 2 people that the wisp is just floating over. It could
You know what,
feasibly hurt it though. Like it is damageable.
I think Putter thought for a second of doing that, and then noticed that the door is so close to being slammed
Mhm.
open, and he'll attack it with light hand again.
You got it. So if you want to do your first light hammer attack against the door, so that'll be a hit. So roll damage for that one first. With that, the light hammer is just what was needed. The door bursts through. There's a gaping hole through it now that you feel anyone would be able to move through. You do have one more attack.
I guess I'll try and attack the orb with
You
light
got it.
hammer, see if that
You-
does anything.
Yeah, roll to hit it. Yeah, that's a miss, as it just kind of just effortlessly kind of boops out of the way of the hammer.
Where
Okay.
where is this thing? Is it
So
on the
this
map and I'm
thing-
just not seeing it?
It is not, because I don't have a token for it here. I'll let's see. I think there should be in. Let me see if in basic undead I have anything. Spectral dogs. All right. So it's not great, but we're pretending that it's this.
Nice.
Except it's a lot smaller than that and a lot less menacing looking. It is at present technically floating just above these 2.
Okay.
So it's not actually in their space, but it's close enough. It's within 5 feet of each of them to be able to hit either of them with relative ease. And it's just kind of floating up there, just saying like, hello. So it is before Brawl. It is the Steel Defender's turn. Steel Defender is close enough if you wanted to try and hit it. So a 19. That is enough to hit. So roll your d8 plus 3. So 5, 6, 8 damage against this thing, as it... I imagine... How does your Steel Defender fight? Do you say that it had a weapon of its own, or...
Yeah, one of its hands is just a mallet.
Wonderful. So it does
Yep.
a pretty solid job of just kind of smacking this thing. It's still up. It's still moving. But it was a nice hit. So Brawl. What you doing?
Yeah. Let's see. How far away do I need to be for this one?
So technically we're counting it as, since it's just over these ones, you could get in within 10 feet of it, if that matters.
Okay. I want to be 15 feet away from it. And is there a 5-foot gap between myself? Actually, that's probably a good spot to leave it. I don't want to put it next
Yeah,
to.
you could position yourself so that there would be a gap between, like for it to rest if you wanted to move it closer to you or something along those lines.
I don't think I want to put it right next to Babel though. So
that is a
I
good
won't do
point.
that. So I guess in that case, I am just going to throw my light hammer at it.
Alrighty.
Or can I get around? Like, can I move through people to get on the other side of it?
So the only issue is that these two are still like right with it. You would kind of have to be awkwardly fighting with them for space.
Mhm.
If you were to do that, because I think technically the rules are you can't attack from another creature's space. I would,
Right.
or if you can, it's very funky. I would just say you could. It would be at disadvantage for the attacks though, as
Yeah, I
you're
was trying to see if I could get
not
like
able.
over here.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Yeah. The door's unblocked now. Yeah. Duh. So that would be, yeah. You would just be able to scooch past and get to one of those open spaces. I forgot the door was busted down. I'm sorry.
Heck
That
yeah.
is
All
my
right.
bad. As you
That
are
is
able
okay.
to shove past your allies, they count as difficult terrain, but you're able to just get there if you want to just then smash this
Sweet.
thing. 20 is going to be enough to hit.
And I'll just roll my second attack too.
You got it. 22 is more than 20, so also a hit. So 12. Yeah, that's
Why did it roll it that way? That's weird.
I not 100% sure. So wait, 2d6 plus 4. It's because the first one it wanted to roll it with advantage because there was that 27
Oh,
or as a
yeah.
critical. Either way, you thoroughly smash this thing. And so tell me how this kind of looks as there's this just ball floating there that you hit with a big mallet effectively. And just end
Uh,
it.
yeah, I think I'm like first I kind of because did I kill it on the first swing or the second one?
I believe it would have been the second swing.
Okay. So first I just kind of like smash it sideways and like knock it against the wall. And then assuming it takes a little bit of a dip after just like slamming against a wall, I just over my head try to slam it down into the ground and squish it like a bug.
Oh, you got it. That 100% happens. That is glorious. So yeah, so you have so I will note the sand is still falling, but you do have this way out. This tunnel opens and you now notice that you're pretty darn close. There is a turn here. If you wanted to get out from falling sand hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and look down that tunnel.
Yeah. It's very
Pathway.
short and leads to a door. Everyone loves doors.
Especially somebody.
Doors are great.
All right. So
No.
there's a door here.
Uh-huh.
If the party could just discuss thoughtfully amongst themselves, what do you want to do regarding this door?
Did the threat is gone, but the sand's still falling, right?
The sand is still falling, but you have a way out. You're not trapped there, and it's only like between these two little barriers, which for whatever reason it just has on the map, which is weird for if you're using the map like this, because then the players are going to be like, "What's that?" But point is, you're able to get away from it. Like,
Okay, but only in one direction and not from
yes.
the way we came. So, like, I
Yes.
think our first thing is to knock down this other wall before we really do anything else.
You got it. So,
Because we don't want to be stuck.
okay. So do you guys want to just start working on busting down that other wall?
Yeah.
All right. So assuming that you have like your stronger people up front and you're moving around and carefully positioning, you're able to get it done relatively quickly.
Yeah. It's less threatening because we're not trapped.
Yeah, the only issue is at this point by the time you're done with it, there's a solid pile of sand. There's a good few feet of sand that you're
But
kind of
it's like spreading, right?
to a degree,
And
more than
falling
it would
over a
have.
little.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is definitely piling up pretty noticeably, like right towards like the center of this section here, just as it naturally does, because that's where it's all falling from. But yeah. So, but you do have this door broken down. That's not an issue. You're no longer in combat. You're able to avoid the sand, but it does take a
Cool.
few minutes. Okay. So, back to more pressing things, i.e., this
More
mysterious
doors.
door. More doors. Back to
More
more
doors.
doors. Not copyright.
Yeah, this just spells more doors.
Mm-hmm. So what are you guys doing with this door?
I'm not
What's it
going
look
first.
like?
It
Yeah,
is
describe the door.
it is a door made of beaten copper
Mm-hmm.
that is heavy, but you feel you could open without a strength check. Or beaten bronze, sorry. There is nothing particularly fancy about this door.
Can I charge it down?
If you would like to, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So do you want to just burst through the door, or do you want to charge down like you would with the other rooms and hallways and such?
Just burst down the door.
All right. So you burst it open. You guys are able to get a clear view of this room. It is, first of all, it smells real bad. It seems to be
Ooh.
like a big old junk pit. A bitter stench is assailing the senses as you lay eyes on the room ahead. Inside, amid a pile of rubbish, offal, and bracken, ghostly lights move across the floor. Uh, Closer observation reveals the light is emitted by giant beetles. There seem to be maybe about a dozen of them, each about 3 feet in length. From this, they don't appear to take notice of you. From within there is a larger pile that seems to be like their main nest. That you do like amongst the lights, you do catch a glint of something shiny in there.
Man, gotta hold Babel back from this one, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my great axe and put it in front of Babel.
Okay.
Okay,
Um,
but like
Like Big Brother style.
Okay.
Babel's speaks the animals.
If you
I would like to communicate with these beetles.
let let me check, because I'm genuinely curious. Let me check the subtype of if giant fire beetles are a
You didn't
oh
say they were fire. You just said that they were sparkly.
they you recognize them now that you're closer as giant fire beetles. Uh smaller beasts. I just need to see if these they're beasts, or if like they're really weirdly defined as like elementals or something.
Okay. Well, I do have a different idea
All right.
if I can't talk to them.
And again, I believe even being a gnome, it's simple communication. Okay, that my computer is just not loading. I hope the stream is still. Stream quality seems all
It's
right.
up. It looks fine.
All right. Let's see. There's too many. There's too many creatures in this.
What are you looking for?
Giant fire beetles, which are, oh no, they are here. They are a small beast. You feel like you can communicate with them.
Very nice.
Yes. So
Through sounds and gestures, I can communicate simple ideas. So I'm gonna like chitter at them.
all right. So
Because
I
it
imagine
also and
yeah.
other creatures as beloved pets. So like endearingly.
No.
And
Forest gnomes like to keep those animals as beloved pets. It doesn't mean they're any of these creatures you find are automatically your beloved pet.
okay.
But you can communicate with them. What are you trying to say? Very basic.
I am Basic is greetings. I'm just trying to say hello and appear non-threatening and as if we belong.
Okay.
Like we are a part of them.
So a couple of them kind of come over, and they seem to be. How does it describe it? They're kind of like examining you with their feelers, and you get kind of like, this is new. This is strange. New strange thing. But they don't seem like menacing or angry. They're more just curious. And I
Can I
imagine if
pull some
anyone else,
snacks out of my bag?
I do you if assuming you have rations you want to have
I
some
do
fun
have
with.
rations. I would like to. I am trying to appease them.
All right.
I am
So,
in their home.
alrighty. So, yeah, how just gonna pull out like some of a day's rations and feed them?
Yeah, well, so like I'll hold it out. Like
Yeah.
it's up to them if they want to take it.
Oh,
Not gonna.
they
Yeah,
100% will. The two
awesome.
kind of take the rations. They each take some of it. I imagine if there's any left over, some of the others will come over and take the items. Um, and they're just kind of, they seem to just be like content with food.
Nice.
Again, it's very simple. They're very basic creatures. They are literally beasts.
But
But
they're fire beasts,
they
and they
seem
like me.
they are content with you. It seems unlikely that just if nothing else, walking through you're golden. They're not going to pay you any heed.
Yeah.
One thing though you do kind of get is that main one is indeed their nest. And they seem like you can tell they'd be protective of it.
Okay.
Yes. But otherwise, just if you
Can,
just want to move through, you're golden.
I was gonna say, can you mark on the thing where their nest is?
Yeah, I think it is. Let me pull out my
And did
freehand.
the shiny come from the nest?
Oh, the shiny did indeed come from the nest. So the nest, I imagine, would be this. Let me switch to a darker green. It would be. Oh yeah, that's real good. This nice blue green, even though maybe orange would make more sense because they're fire beetles here. It's
That's
a
good.
multi-layered drawing. And there's the glinting of the fire beetles. All right, so that kind of pile of beautiful drawings that you all are amazed by the quality of.
Man, this
Is there?
is close to a pseudopop stream.
I know. Look out, Amanda. I'm gonna steal your thunder.
Coming for me.
Hmm.
Look at all those layers.
Yeah, 3 layers. Ooh, I'm
Dude,
getting
that
there.
blue green and that orange go together really nice,
They
though.
do though. See, my color theory is on point. But yeah, that, and you did see there were shinies in the nest. You're not quite sure what though, because even like the lighting is funky, as well as
Odds are they're beetles.
as well as the room is moderately lit though. The only thing for anyone who is familiar with fire beetles, they normally glow pretty brightly and kind of like shed decent light everywhere they walk. These ones seem to lack that. They have a little bit of a glow, but it's not like they're shedding bright light like normal.
Oh, they're getting suffocated.
I mean, you also have you think they seem healthy. I'll give you that much. And they seem
Okay.
immune to the poison.
No poison.
But
Yeah.
the gas probably isn't good for their fire bodies.
Perhaps. And or maybe they're it's a dark thing. They've been surviving. They adapted. I don't know. Yes. Um so yeah, the room feels pretty, you are confident that you guys can pass through the room safely if you don't like mess with them or the nest. They're kind of live and let live.
Do you think that they would protect us if we chose to take a rest here?
Um
Would Babel be able to request that of them?
Yeah.
Because I think
Make
I've used all of my spell slots.
yeah,
Yeah, and
Oh, I don't know if it'll work on them. I have tongues.
So that's
I'm assuming that's a spell.
tongues is okay. Tongues, I will say, is one, not going to work.
Because they're beasts.
Well, partially because they don't have a spoken language. Is one of the big things.
Oh,
You
yep, spoken
can,
language.
yes.
That makes sense.
If you want, I would let you make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay, with like my chittering and stuff.
Yeah, because they're pretty happy with you. 15.
So
They're
15.
you gave them food. You haven't you've been trying to be very peaceful and friendly. You don't know if they're probably not going to lay down their lives for you, but if you were to stick around, they'd probably ignore you. Like if you were to pick
Cool.
like this opposite corner or something, and set
Yeah.
up. I would just like everyone to make an insight check real quick. 13.
Oh,
9.
insight.
Yes. 6. Okay. And who we have set then? Colin.
As always, sorry.
It's
Where is
okay.
it?
It's under your skills,
Yeah, it's
right next to your attribute points like strength, dex, and all that
Mhm.
jazz.
yeah, it's like deception, history, and then insight. It's right above
Mhm.
intimidation.
Yeah. I think it's alphabetical.
Yes. Looks like it.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
There we go. 15. All right. So with the 16, the 15, as you're kind of like considering sitting down here for a rest, you kind of have a thought, and you kind of look around at the poisonous gas around you, and you realize that it feels like, and again, this is rough just because it's constantly affecting you, but it feels like about every hour you're here or so, it feels to really take a toll on you. You're not sure if you could do an 8-hour rest here. You might die partway through.
Yeah.
You do feel confident in if you wanted to sit down for a short rest. You would you feel like if you were to really kind of collect yourself, you could probably do about an hour.
I'm never getting my spell slots back, am I?
Not just yet.
I want to stay long enough to do another sketch.
All right. So if you guys want to do a short rest, that is 100% a-okay. Is that
I'm
true?
at least at like half of my HP, so I'd like to use some hit dice.
Yeah.
Same.
So
Well, I guess
with
not half.
yeah. So if the general consensus is yes, doing a short rest, do any hit dice, and you do have a bard in the party. I'm just double checking how much the Song of Rest helps you guys. Everyone who wants to spend some hit dice, go ahead. You do
How does
have.
that work?
So you can roll a number of. So you all have 5 hit dice. They are determined by your class. For each one, you can roll as many as you can like. You can also roll them one at a time just to see. You roll it and add your Constitution modifier and regain that many hit points. Regains any amount of hit die or uses any hit dice, you get an extra 1d6 due to the Song of Rest from your Bard companion.
So we're rolling our hit dice plus that plus a Constitution modifier, right?
Yeah, so it's you can roll any number of hit dice. Each hit die it's hit die plus Constitution modifier, though you only get that d6 one time, no matter how many hit dice you spend.
Okay.
Let me.
Constitution modifier is the bold number under Constitution, right?
Yeah, it'll be between a 0 and a 5 most likely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And you said the Song of Rest is
An extra
Wow.
d6.
okay.
Rolled a 1 on my biggest die.
Yeah. And you can also use additional hit dice. You all do have 5 to expend.
Yeah.
So does this mean I rolled 1 hit die, I rolled a 6, and then I got +3 for con?
Yep. And then roll, and Amanda, you get an additional free d6 from the Song of Rest. And Colin, you also get a free d6 from the Song of Rest. So okay, Amanda's just getting all the hit points back.
Yeah, I'm at
Collins.
full. I'm at
Is
full
that
health.
right? Is that right?
No, I'm not at full health.
Is it a
So
D12?
yeah, so Seth, you spent 2 hit dice, but I think you had taken some reasonable damage, so that's not a bad call.
Okay,
That is 100% correct.
cool.
So
I'm
uh,
at one health less than max now.
yeah, so you're good. Is anyone else spending any more?
Yeah, I'm very close to max as well. That was
Um,
perfect.
I might spend one more.
Mm-hmm. Colin, how are you on health?
Do I only add my Constitution modifier once, or for
You
each
add
one?
it for each one, and
Okay.
if I'm getting this wrong, then I'm sorry.
Do I add it for the
Not the
for
sign of
the
rest die.
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, that one is just everyone who spends one gets an extra d6. So yeah, and just let me know when all of you are good on your rests or health or whatever.
I now have a bug cave scroll.
Wonderful. Oh, during this short rest, I just want to question, Amanda, you have a fancy new magic item.
I do.
Do you want to attune to that?
I don't know what it does.
You don't. It has transmutation magic. Normally it would be either the drawing or the attunement, but I'll assume you're doing it all kind of in one because it's fun, you
Can
know. Not gonna
can
attune.
I ask the like chitter at the bugs and kind of show them what I found? Like I'd be
Um,
all about like trying to be friends with them right now and
yeah,
distracting them.
they seem like you get that they see it and they see it's shiny. They see it's nice. They see that they want it. Um,
Okay.
but they have no insight on what it is or what it does. It's a shiny. That's all it needs to be.
So my Fey crystal, does it
Yes.
do anything other than magic table stuff?
Um, the
Can
fake.
it like sense anything?
It cannot. You're
Okay.
so if you did want to like during this, especially I am gonna just point out you do have an artificer in the party.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
if that artificer would have any interest in making an Arcana check, if you want to try and
Yeah.
figure out a little
You
more, if
wanna
he's willing.
look at this for me? It was stuck in something that trapped the person that tried to take it. So I'm leaning towards a little bit of like it's gotta be valuable in some sense and not as scary in some sense. Then
Mhm.
it's no.
And you also know it's magical.
And I also know it's
Whereas,
magical. And
whereas we don't.
transmog magical.
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you guys been able to hear him the whole time? I
No.
No,
apologize.
not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Here.
He is my cat.
Oh,
He
okay.
is being a brat.
It happens. Cats are great.
Tell him I said hey.
Hey. Yeah. Um. So yeah, if Putter is willing, you can 100% make an Arcana check with advantage to kind of examine this ring. You would have to kind of spill the beans that you know this is magical, though.
Oh, it's a
Um,
bracelet.
it's a bracelet.
Yeah, you
Uh,
told me it's a bracelet.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
I just
all right.
rolled.
So
It's like I'm only letting Colin know though, because like
okay.
I know he's an artificer, so like I'm
Hmm.
being forthcoming with him.
Yeah. With a 14, this you're it's not. It doesn't seem to be any magic items you're intimately familiar with. There's not a ton of magical bracelets out there. Who was it before who rolled the perception on it?
I did.
Did you kind of share your findings with everyone else, or did you just kind of be
Yeah.
like, "That's
No.
funky"?
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
yeah. So one thing you do kind of realize in this and looking it over as an artificer, one of the reasons, and kind of like you put two and two together with this, one of the reasons it doesn't really make much sense as a bracelet is that this thing, given all of its design and how what you know of magic items, um, it feels like should be like in how it looks, in everything except for scale. This feels like it should be a magic ring. If it was
Oh.
smaller, this would be
Mhm.
100% some kind of magic ring, but it's big, like
So it
bracelet
might be like a
sized.
big person's.
Yeah.
There's a giant around.
Yeah, it's a
Hmm,
giant.
maybe that's why it's transmogged.
But yeah, but you're not able to glean much more on what it would do. But you are able to put that it really feels like it should be a magic ring, given like the carvings into it, and that you don't see magic bracelets too often. They do happen, but you see a lot of magic rings. And especially given how like weird and bangly this is. Yeah. So yeah.
If he's not discerning anything threatening from it, I will attune to it.
Alrighty. So you
Cursed.
attune. And so yeah, it is. You feel a deep connection to the earth as you wear this. And to stone. With this knowledge, you feel like it may have been made, perhaps by a stone giant, as a ring. It all ties together. For now, you feel like it has some amount of charges that you can use to cast the flesh to stone spell.
Ooh.
Nice.
Though one thing, even with the attunement, you're not sure how many charges it has.
Okay.
You do feel there's some kind of limit. You're able to glean that much.
In this game, do charges refresh at the end of a day, or does it depend on the item?
It depends on the item. Some it's
Okay.
at dawn. Some of them are on long rests. Some of them, it's weird. It's different for like every item. Yeah. But yeah, so you guys take your rest. I will say you are going to take a little bit of poison damage while you're resting, but it is at the very end. So everyone, look at how much health they have, and
Mhm.
subtract.
A
Ooh,
lot.
the poison's real bad this time. As you each take 6 damage.
Oh, that was my whole second hit die.
But it's a good thing you rolled that whole second hit die, huh?
I guess so.
Um, but yeah, but the creatures didn't attack you. They may have been kind of sniffing around your rations and food, but they already were given some, so it's not like they're gonna be fighting you over it. They're relatively content right now.
Brawl's gonna pet one of them as he like stands up again, ready to go. Just be like,
Alright.
"Oh, thank you, mate."
It kind of chitters and scurries off. So there's 2 sets of double doors. Let me make sure that they're actually visible here. 2 sets of
I
double
see that.
doors here. That one and that one, excluding the ones you came in through. Do you want to go through the northward doors or the southward doors?
I think I would like to not go deeper necessarily without having explored some of the things that we have
Yeah,
maybe
same.
gone past. So I'm thinking south.
South?
Babbles gonna point out that this place is filled with poison, and I think the goal needs to be to get out of here and not explore right now.
But there might be something that shuts the poison off.
From your
Or
time
dissipates
spent
the
here, it hasn't seemed to have been like dispensed. It just seems to kind of be around here. You've spent a few hours in it. It's just kind of been a pretty much present thing, even with some escaping from the cave-in. It seems to just kind of be here.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Said
give you
something
that
earlier
once.
that made it sound like it might be able to go away.
Mayhaps. I don't know. It's a mystery. So
But you
what
do
is?
know.
I do know. I know a lot of things. I know which door you could. I mean, you could go through either door.
Yeah.
So we have. It sounds like
We've
one vote
been
for either door.
we've been in the south like a lot because that's where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it feels like we were super ingrained. And north might be good. North might be out, right?
Yeah.
We could always do the thing though where we open both doors and
Yeah.
Split the
pick
party.
which way we want to go.
Do you guys
Yeah, we
want to
could
do
look down both ways.
Yeah, which door are you
Yeah.
opening first?
I'm right here, so I'll open this one.
Yeah, so this one you have your lantern. It is a moderately long hallway that seems to have a turn that would then go a little more to the west. Do you want to then go across the room, check out the other one?
Sure.
All right, so you open this set of doors, and it leads to, and I imagine you would probably get about here with the lantern, a giant set of stairs leading upwards.
Well, that does seem like it maybe goes out of the gas.
Up means away.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be the bad way.
I will note you did get into this dungeon by falling down. Chances are you're below ground. Just in case that affects any decisions.
Maybe. We haven't seen any windows to confirm one way or the other.
True, you
Right.
could be in the sky.
Hey,
You
does
could have
anybody
fallen through.
remember why we're here?
You were sent here. There was a research, like an expedition, that you were hired onto to go through this ruin and see if you could find any treasures. A finder's fee would be paid for them. Clear and scout out the place to help with this expedition. They
We were
did
supposed
not
to find a ring, right?
They never mentioned finding a ring.
Oh, okay.
They did
I was
say
Colin
that they
forgot.
would pay you for treasure.
Colin just dropped.
Oh, Colin. Oh, we lost him.
Was it explore a ruin or this ruin specifically?
It
Like,
was-
was this the ruin?
It was this one specifically. No one really expected you to fall into it. They had like a more proper temple exterior that they were like, hey, poke around this area. And on your way to there, you heard something kind of running around the jungles, and then just fell in. We lost our Colin. With that, though, I was also going to. It is 10 at night. We've been playing for a little while. Oh, hello again, Colin. You're just in time for us to get ready to sign off. With this, you see this this ruin or this staircase leading upwards. People, what are people generally feeling? The stairs up or back into closer to the known?
I like stairs up because of gas that doesn't exist.
So, like, yeah, like we could get out of here and then come back in
Mm-hmm.
with like a plan.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay.
At
And then
least-
we can also rest not in the gas too.
That is a valid point. So as you begin up this staircase, your future looking bright. That's where we shall end for this evening. We're at a little under 2 hours because of those technical difficulties, but this is a good stopping point. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Do any of the players have anything they want to plug?
The holes with the sand falling out of them.
Yeah, those ones.
Did anyone poke their head back in that hallway after the rest? By the way,
No,
all right.
I didn't.
I think this
Sure
is-
did
Why?
not.
Why you gotta be like that?
Question. I don't like that question, Tristan.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to see if you saw the mummies. All right.
The spooky yuki ghosts that followed
Yeah.
us.
All the spooky ghosts.
The sand golem that formed.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We're not over there.
So I guess with that, check out twitch.tv/themdave. A bunch of us also show up there and play these quality games. Check out. I heard something about Diablo. What channel would I go to if I wanted to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
that, Amanda?
You can go to twitch.tv/pseudopop, and that's Pseudopop with a PSEUDO.
Ah.
You can catch me streaming art stuff or playing video games. Sundays have been Diablo and Tuesdays have been Omori, and those are the games I'm currently playing at this time. Both are first playthroughs.
Nice. All right. And with that, if we don't have anything else, I just want to thank everyone for coming and watching. Took that as a, oh, well, they respect how awesome I am.